WWF figure so close to the real thing. It's like being in the ring.
No, boss, I'm ready. Seriously, just ring the bell and I'll get in the ring. No, seriously, just ring the bell. Just ring. Hello, my name is Really? Anyways, hey, I got some wrestling figures today, so let's go check them out, shall we? Today's review will be on the Mattel WWE Basic Series 100. Holy cow, there have been 100 waves of these basic figures? Man, I'm glad they didn't put them out yearly. Jeez, we'd be really old right now. Now, I was recently able to get 4 of the 5 figures from this wave. Now, I'll get into why I didn't get all 5 in a minute. But you know what? These 4 look amazing. So who should we start with? How about this guy?
And his name is John Cena.
And what a figure to start with. This figure looks awesome. Now, John Cena is one of those wrestlers that really hasn't changed his look over the years. He usually just changes his wristbands, his shirt, and maybe his hat, but that's about it. Now, speaking of hat, I do wish that this figure would have came with that orange and black hat that he's wearing in the photo, but hey, this is a basic release, so you get the, the basic figure plus basic articulation, and that's basically it. Now I see why they called it the basic line. But you know what? This still looks awesome. Now, I love this shirt that he's wearing, the NES-looking shirt. That is so awesome looking. Plus, I love the color of his wristbands and stuff right there. Yeah, this figure looks awesome. Now, one of the reasons why I got this wave, now, I wanted all 5, but I wasn't able to get the 5th figure, and we'll talk about that when we flip the package over. But one of the reasons why I wanted to get this wave was I believe these are either new head sculpts or tweaked head sculpts, because these heads look amazingly detailed. This looks just like John Cena. I love it, man. And you know what? If you wanted to just take this head and put it on an elite body, if it fits and stuff, and maybe, matches the color scheme and junk, that would be an amazing thing to do because that looks so good. Now, you will be missing out on this awesome shirt, but hey, I'm sure they'll make an elite of that eventually in the future anyways. But yeah, that head really does look tweaked. It looks better. I don't know. It looks so good. But we'll get into that once we open it. But yeah, here's the front of the package. You can see there, he's actually got the shirt on in the picture. That is so cool indeed. He got the WWE logo at the top, his name, and then Series 100. So let's look at the back of the package, shall we? On the back of the card, we find the WWE logo, John Cena's facsimile autograph, a little hologram there saying official licensed product, and you've got an awesome picture there of John Cena looking cool as always. Down here, you've got a little blurb that says, history in the making. WWE recognizes milestone moments as symbols of excellence. Now etched in the history books of unprecedented accomplishments is Mattel's 100th WWE action figure series. To commemorate the occasion, Mattel thanks you, the WWE Universe, with an assortment of some of the most celebrated fan-favorite superstars in WWE history. And we have John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker. And that is awesome. Now, I was able to get everyone but Shawn Michaels. And it really stinks because Shawn Michaels and the Rock figure are 2 of the figures in this wave here that have newly sculpted head sculpts. And man, I really, really wanted them. Now, the Rock was at the top of my list because when I saw his head sculpt, I was like, I've got to have that. So that made me get all of these others, and I wasn't able to get Shawn Michaels, but hey, whatever. Now, The Undertaker actually has a new head sculpt too, but I think they've used that head sculpt a long time ago. It's kind of like Stone Cold's and John Cena's. They look very similar to heads that have been used in the past, if not still being used. And yeah, like I said, it looks like they may have been tweaked or something, or because of the way they do their faces now. Man, I don't know, but they look really cool. But enough about this back of this package. Let's flip the package back over, shall we? Now, looking at the front of the package, we find, holy cow, The Rock! That is awesome! Now, if you look at the figure from here down, yeah, it looks like a typical, normal, basic Rock figure, doesn't it? Just like John Cena, it didn't change up his look very much. He always kind of wears the trunks that have his name on it, or maybe a Brahma Bull or something like that. But that's about it. But when you look at the figure from here, look at that head sculpt. That is awesome. And not only is it The Rock, but it's Attitude Era Rock, man. He's got the Elvis sideburns, the full head of hair, and I love this head sculpt so much. It looks so much like him. That is amazing. Now, like I said about the John Cena figure, the only thing that I would have to say negatively about this is that it's not on an elite body. But maybe you'll be able to like swap that head out with an elite body because, you know, his outfit always kind of basically looks like that. And you know what? That is awesome. But yeah, you got his name, you got the Series 100, and if we flip it over, now on the back of the package, we find the WWE logo, and over here you have The Rock's autograph, which, ironically, he's signing now Dwayne Johnson The Rock, which he used to just sign The Rock, but now he wants to go by Dwayne, so, okay, I guess we'll have to call you
Dwayne.
I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. Please don't hit me. Now, as you can see, we have an awesome picture here of The Rock looking so cool. Down here, we got that same blurb, and the pictures at the bottom are the exact same. So I say we flip this package over and look at the front. Now, looking at the package from the front, we find, holy cow, Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is awesome. Now, looking at the figure, you can see his leg braces there are different. They're the same leg braces, but they're actually painted black and white, which is really cool indeed. From here down, aside from the leg braces, he looks the exact same. But if you look at his head sculpt, yes, it looks the same as he always looks, but I could swear this head is a little bit different. It seems a little bigger maybe, and like I said, more detailed. This looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin. That is awesome looking. But yeah, it won't be until later that we compare the heads that you'll be able to see, you know, how different this one looks. Yeah, this looks really, really cool. Now, as you can see, you've got the same kind of photo there of him at the side there, and this looks so cool. Yeah, I cannot wait to see this figure's head up close. That is awesome. So if we look at the back of the package, we find the usual WWE logo. You've got Stone Cold Steve Austin's name over there, proclaiming that he is #1, and I will not argue with you. You've got the same little hologram right there, and a truly awesome photo of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he's got that look like, yeah, I wanted to give you my Stone Cold salute, but they wouldn't allow it on the back of the package. Down here, you've got the same blurb and the same pictures yet again for all the figures in this wave, and that is awesome. So let's flip this last package over and check it out. So, looking at the front of the package, we find the Undertaker. And check out that head sculpt. That is awesome. His eyes are rolled back into the back of his head there. He's got his tongue out. That looks so good. Now, I thought Mattel had already made this kind of head sculpt before, or I could be getting it confused with the old Jakks figures and stuff. I know Jakks did one, but I thought Mattel did one before, like way early. I mean, this is 100 waves in, so I'm pretty sure they've done this head at least once. If not, this is a new head sculpt. If so, it's a tweaked head sculpt because it's definitely got the new paint job and stuff like that. That is awesome looking. Now, like I said, with all the other figures from here down, he just looks like the typical Undertaker figure because like the rest of the guys, he really doesn't change up his look very much, and that is awesome. Now, on the basic figures, they don't normally paint the rose or whatever on his arm, or the quill. I think it's a quill on his arm there, red. And it's cool that they painted it because they started doing that not too long ago with the basics, and I think that is very cool indeed because anytime they can give you a little bit more color on these tattoos, that is awesome. You got a really cool picture there of the Undertaker just looking at you like, don't take my picture, and that is so cool indeed. And they even gave him his elbow brace or whatever. That is so cool indeed. Yeah, this head sculpt is awesome, and I cannot wait to see it out of the package. So let's look at the back of the package, shall we? Now, looking at the back of the package, we have the WWE logo. Over here, we have the Undertaker's signature, and that is very cool, hologram thing. And check this out. They actually used a photo of him making that face, and I absolutely love it. That is so cool. Down here, we have the same blurb and then figures in this wave, and that is so cool. So I say we open up these figures and check them out, shall we? The first figure out of the package is Mr. John Cena, and check out that head sculpt. That is amazing. I would dare say that this is probably the best John Cena head sculpt we have ever gotten in figure form. That is awesome. Now, a lot of people may glance at this and say, oh, it looks like every other John Cena figurehead that I've ever seen. You know, he's smiling and blah, blah, blah. No. Wait till you see a comparison between this and then one of the newer elites that just came out not too long ago. Yeah, you're going to be blown away. But before we do that, let's look at his outfit. Down here, you've got his NES-looking t-shirt, looking very cool indeed. It says Sports Entertainment System. Now, I do wish they'd come up with a new torso where it looks like their shirts are untucked, but maybe that would screw up the articulation. I don't know. A lot of people complain about that, but, you know, because wrestlers don't tuck in their shirts, for crying out loud. When they run to the ring, their shirts are out. But you know what? That's okay. It's just a small gripe. Over here, you've got his little wristbands that say C Nation, and that is very cool indeed. And then down here, you've got his jean shorts and his little knee pads there and his sneakers, and that is awesome. But yeah, this head sculpt looks incredible. But before we talk about his head sculpt, let's flip him around, shall we? But honestly, you might be a little disappointed in this figure from behind because look, they didn't put any of the logos or anything from his shirt there. And if you know anything about that shirt, then you know he's supposed to have the 5-knuckle shuffle on the back. And man, it would be so cool if that was on the figure, but it's not. But we're not here to critique his shirt. No, we're here to compare this head sculpt. So here's the new one compared to a recent Elite release of John Cena. And if you can't see a difference, well, then you can't see him. Check this out. That is night and day. Man, this is so cool. And what a great figure, man. Like I said, the only complaint that I would have is that it's, you know, on a basic body. I do love this outfit and everything. I wish it was an Elite, but yeah, there is no denying that this head sculpt is far superior to one of the Elite heads. This is so awesome. And yeah, if this head can fit on that body, this is going to be a great John Cena figure. Now, moving on to The Rock, and there is no denying that this is a new head sculpt. Check that out. I love that they have these sculpted on sideburns, and I love all the detail in his hair. That is so cool. The only thing that's missing from this head sculpt is the people's eyebrow, but you know what? Man, this head sculpt's so good, I can overlook it, because especially when you compare this head sculpt to an older Rock figure, and yeah, he has the sideburns, he has the people's eyebrow, but you know what? That is definitely not the same sort of head sculpt. I mean, check this out. Night and day. You can see that the new head is a lot bigger. It's got a lot more details, and man, that face printing just makes the head sculpt pop. I mean, the older one looks more like a Barbie version of The Rock or something, cartoony or something, but you know what? This new head sculpt is amazing. Now, if you compare their outfits, they're almost identical, except for one's on an Elite body, as you can see. And yeah, if this head can be put on the other body, that would be an amazing Rock figure. But yeah, check out this head sculpt. That is incredible. Now, looking at his head from the side, and check out all that detail. They even have his sideburns fading out and stuff at the ends. That is so amazing. Now, I realize I didn't show the John Cena head from the side, but check this out. Look at the details on that. That is incredible. Yeah, these head sculpts have been stepped up so far that, yeah, I would say that they need to almost like tweak the bodies or something, because the bodies are good, but with the basic figures, they went a step back by taking away some of the articulation and stuff like that. But yeah, this is awesome. I mean, maybe they could make a few bodies that have the torsos with the untucked shirts, maybe. I don't know, just a few different things, because these head sculpts are light years above the other ones. Next up, we have Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, my Stone Cold has 2 little dots there on his forehead, but I didn't get to pick these figures out in person, so hey, what do you want from me? But you know what? Seriously, this head sculpt looks incredible, especially when you compare it to one of the older figures. Because if you don't see a difference, well, then I don't know what you're looking at. But yeah, check this out. Those head sculpts are infinitely different from each other, and this new one blows the old one away. I love the skin tone on the new one, the fact that it's a little bit bigger and everything, and it has way more details that are defined. That is awesome. These new heads make the old ones look almost cartoony. I mean, it's weird. But yeah, with the facial printing and everything, man, this is awesome. Now, comparing their bodies, the only difference is that the older one on the left over here is an Elite, and the new one is a Basic, and the fact that the new one has the white and black, leg braces instead of just the solid black. But yeah, they're almost identical. So yes, if this head right here, the new head, can go on the old one, you'll have an awesome Stone Cold Steve Austin. That head is incredible. Last up, doing his best Gene Simmons impression, we have the Deadman himself, the Undertaker. And check that out. The fact that he's got no eyeballs and the fact that his tongue is hanging out of his face, this head sculpt should look silly, but you know what? It looks just like him, and I absolutely love it. Now, I don't have another figure like this to compare it to, but I will compare it to one of my other Undertakers right now. And like I've said already, just comparing these older sculpts to the newer ones, these older ones just look cartoony in comparison. I mean, I thought this was a really great Undertaker head sculpt. And then when I compare it to this one, I think, no, this one right here blows the old one out of the water. This is so cool. Now, remember, this is an extreme pose, too. If they would have picked more of a sterner look, kind of like this one right over here, it would probably look even more like The Undertaker. But you know what? He makes this face a lot, and I think this looks amazing. Now, comparing the figures, if you look at them, the older one is on the Elite body again. Now, he's wearing the jeans or the pants or whatever, as opposed to wearing the tights, but I didn't dig out one of the ones with the tights. So if you've got one of the Elite figures where he's wearing the tights, yeah, I would do a head swap in a heartbeat, because this head sculpt here just looks incredible. Now, looking at The Undertaker's profile, and check that out. It looks so good. I love that little stubble that they painted on underneath his sideburn. That is so cool. Now, you can definitely see a seam there where they attached his hair. Now, I'm sure that'll be hidden better on other figures because, you know, you can see a little bit of the skin color showing through on mine. But with the naked eye, you cannot see that. I mean, it's so small, who cares? But yeah, that profile looks amazing. Now, looking at Stone Cold's, and his looks equally as amazing. That is so good. And they look so good together. Man, that's so cool. Plus, you get a really cool, you know, basic figure if you don't want to do a head swap. If you can do a head swap. I haven't tried it, so who knows? Maybe they've changed the joints or something inside of the neck. But looking at his tights down here, you have the demon picture, and that is so cool. Look at all the detail work on that. I absolutely love it. Now, the figures themselves have been very, very basic. There's not a lot of changes to them, and these characters don't really have flashy outfits or anything like that. So yeah, you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times, and you know what? This is incredible, and I love these new head sculpts. So, do I recommend these figures? Oh, wholeheartedly. I mean, when I saw the photos online of these heads, I thought, holy crap, are those new? Are those better or what? And yeah, getting them in hand, they look as good as the photos show, and honestly, these heads are probably the best that I've seen on WWE figures in a long time. And yeah, if you have any doubts about getting these figures, I highly, highly, highly recommend them. So, there's my review of the Mattel WWE Basic Series 100 John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Undertaker. And these figures are absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend them. And oh yes, Shawn Michaels will be mine eventually. If I can find him, that is. So, until next time, tune in for more Foo Reviews. You know, Keanu, I always thought that when I grew up, I'd be exactly like The Rock.
Well, you're not The Rock.
Hey, this is Nolan North. You don't want to miss Foo Reviews. And I'm out.